One of the key pillars that you have to work on to heal from any narcissistic injury, to elevate your masculinity, to improve in life and grow and develop, is you have to get rid of the shame that you have over sex. You see, a lot of the traumatic experiences that you've endured have all collected at the bottom of your chakras, which is the lower chakra. So most of your shame is surrounding your dick or your vagina, whatever you have. That's where all the shame is. Even for a woman, it goes inside her womb. You have to heal all those shame-based. They're I'd say 90% of them are sex-based. Especially for most men in this day and age, we are taught to have a lot of shame regarding our sex life, our genitals, it's never a positive or a happy topic when you speak of sex with most people, or in general, if you try to see what people, their perceptions around sex, it will always be around shame. Christianity adds on to this. And of course, if the men live in shame, the women will live in shame, and it will become even more profound for the woman. So, as a man who's endeavoring to elevate and grow, there can be no shame surrounding sex. Sex is a beautiful topic. Sex is a grown person's topic. Sex is not for children. Sex is a biological need. It is a law. Sex is a law. And in trying to suppress this law, we have endured a lot of stress, a lot of embarrassing experiences, a lot of negative thoughts, all because of being told to have shame around a particular part of our body, or to compare ourselves to other people. You're worried about this other man's dick or whatever because you watch porn, or a chick is, you know. I mean, for women, it's everything really that they're ashamed about, you see. But it is society that teaches you how to do that. In nature, no, creatures are not, any other creature is not worried about what the lion isn't worried over what the other lion has. The giraffe isn't worried about, gee, that other giraffe is an inch taller than me. All these things live in your mind. They live in a illusioned mind. What you have is more than enough, and it has to start sexually at the base chakra, which is why I mix my topics with sex, because as a young man, it has been quite profound, the change that I've experienced in my life once I really spoke the truth to myself and thus to everyone. And is sex is a beautiful thing. Sex is a powerful thing. I love sex. I really love sex, and it is a domain that I endeavor to improve in, just like I improve in any other domain, physically, mentally. I have no shame over sex, and it's taken many years to clean that filth of shame-based thinking when it comes to your sex life, when it comes to your own being as a man. Even if you look at how society imposes this shame around men and their asses, as a man, until you're not supposed to think about your asshole, you're not supposed to wash it, because of all this gauge thinking that I've introduced. You see, me, I have, as an individual, I have an ass, obviously. Me washing my ass, doing whatever with my ass is my ass. But you see, even this topic is itchy. There is no itchiness with me, man, because I have come back to the Eastern way of thinking. And our ancestors never had that shame-based thinking of, even until as a man, you can't ever talk about your ass because you people will perceive you as this. Unapata wasee waoshangi hadi matako. You dig? Like they have this completely total dissociation with their ass. But guess what? Right there in your ass region is your prostate that you have neglected. You know, most men over 40 are highly likely to get prostate cancer. Why? And your prostate is inside your ass, between your balls and your ass. That's where your prostate is. But now you've been filled with shame, so that you never even think of this organ that is very profound for testosterone, for for the semen that nourishes the sperm. All this is hidden from you because you've been totally alienated, rather. You've been totally alienated from a part of your body that needs your attention. It needs to be catered for. You cannot dissociate from it. It is a part of your being, and all this revolves around sex. So the topic around sex is a whole unit. It is a consistent theme in your healing journey. Most of people's traumas, as I said, is based around sex. You have to fix sex before you even fix money because they are very, very correlated. Even if you want to begin attracting wealth, you have to change your perceptions around sex. That's why even the billionaires and the trillionaires of the world, they move differently when it comes to the sexual realm. So even your nipples as a man, you're not supposed to think about your nipples, not because you've done anything, but they have already assumed uncleanliness by alienating you from your nipples, from your asshole as a man, from your dick, you see, from your sexual nature. And because you are suppressed, your woman has to be suppressed. So it is a suppressed society. And what happens with nature, the laws of nature that become suppressed, they force themselves into your life more. So people are always thinking about sex. Porn is a $1 billion industry that no one watches, supposedly. You see, but everyone will watch Ngwati. I don't know how many grown people I've seen watch porn. I've seen kids watch porn. I was a kid watching porn. It was everywhere in school. Why? But you shouldn't talk about this topic. But alas, when I removed all that shame of sex, and there was no need for, I just went on with my life. There was no obsession with sex. There was no obsession with, you know, complete, you're completely lost in this sexual fantasy because it's so suppressed. It has all this much power. It's like you're being forced not to pee. It's a call of nature. No umeshikili, it has to burst itself out. But if you release and be calm and say ngono ni baraka kutoka kwa Mungu, of course it is powerful. But in accepting that it must occur and it is the law, then you can be cool, then you have a healthy life, then you can begin then to look at yourself more and look at your masculinity as an authentic expression of your identity rather than an imposition by society of how you as a man should move, being completely alienated from who you are. It's a profound topic, and I would again urge you to heal all your beliefs around sex and to say to the ether, to the air that is always listening, that you love sex and that sex is a powerful thing. Sex loves you. Every time you engage in good, responsible sex for whatever reason, as long as your heart is pure, that is pure sex. Even the topic of STIs is something to be discussed, and how most of these STIs are really spiritual diseases that attack, that are really attach themselves to you when you are of unclean heart. You're a person who is a lot of malice, vitriol, anger, then you attract these entities. Because if you are not aware, 10 people can sleep with, let's say, one woman who is infected, and not all 10 people will come out with that disease, you see. But science has no way of explaining it. But if you go back to the East and your ancestors, they'll show you that these things all point back to the purity of your mind and your heart. And that is where you must live with sex. If you want to enjoy a good life, sex is a big part of life. Don't be ashamed of it. Understand its power. Take control of it. Do not let sex overtake you. Okay? But it is a profound thing to be enjoyed. It is something for procreation. There is a reason why human beings can enjoy it outside of procreation. So I do not see people enjoying sex as a means of procreation as a waste of time, or as a lesser purpose. You see, there's many purposes to sex. Even if you go back into traditional societies who had a more mature understanding of sex, you will see that they understood the power of sex, and that is why their society was flourishing. Anyway, sex is a beautiful thing.